In this video we're going to be taking a look at the jetpack, a modification available for power armor, for example the T51 and the T60. I have a few complete suits of power armor standing around, but for this demonstration I'm just going to... I'm not sure if the X01 can use a jetpack, but I'm going to find out. Let's see here. Indeed, it can use the jetpack, so let's use the X01 because it's pretty cool. I haven't assembled it completely, but let's just build a jetpack. Here you can see the materials I need to build the jetpack. I need a science rank of 4 and an armor rank of 4 in addition to these materials. It's not that expensive really to build the jetpack. So there we have it. Now there are other mods that can be used together with the jetpack. So the things that would be nice would be the mods for the legs that give you an increased blast radius when landing, for example. Those could be nice. And the ones that regenerate action points faster are also very nice. For the arms, there aren't really any mods that help you much in using your jetpack, and the same with the helmet. There are some nice ones. For example, you can have the targeting HUD, highlights living targets. So let's make that one. And just for fun, bright headlamp. So now that I've made my jetpack, I'm going to need to step into my suit of armor, of course. And there's the jetpack. Now the jetpack will both use fusion core. I am slow because I am encumbered. Let's see here. I need to drop something then. Yeah, let's just drop a few things. The laser rifle and the hunting rifles. I haven't uploaded. So there we are. Now the way the jetpack works, fairly simple stuff. You just press space while you're in midair, and then you're going to be flying upwards a bit. Now we'll go up on the roof here for the demonstration of the jetpack, because here you can see my HUD highlights these turrets. They are not living targets, but it highlights any targets, it seems. So you can hold. I'm going to use this pole to measure height. So you can hold the space bar, jump up, hold the space bar, and you'll fly straight up. But as you can see, I just about made it to the top of the pole, and that's the maximum height that the jump pack can go. So I need to recharge my action points before I can go again. So let's see if I can jump any higher by using shorter bursts. It was about the same really. Didn't notice too much of a difference. Let's let it recharge and try some very short bursts. A bit higher. Not huge, but I think a slight difference. So, one of the things worth noting, since the jetpack uses both energy core armor and action points, is that there are some traits that work well together with the jetpack. So let's see here. Now look at the perk chart. Very useful one. The nuclear physicist, allowing you to eject fusion cores, and more importantly, fusion cores last longer. fusion cores are fairly expensive, so ejecting fusion cores, not something that you'll see me do a lot of. It could be interesting to equip a full fusion core and then have some almost depleted fusion cores. That could be an interesting tactic with that. Then of course you need the armor and you need the science perk, leveled up all the way to level 4. Another thing, I haven't used this one yet, but the paint train. Also nice to have when using power armor. But other than that, anything that helps you regenerate action points is useful when you need to use a jetpack rapidly. So we'll see how that works. I'll try to use a Nuka-Cola Quantum first. So the Nuka-Cola Quantum, let's see where we have it. There we have it. 100 AP. Let's see if I can get any higher if I use the Nuka-Cola Quantum. Now I'll use the Nuka-Cola Quantum at the top. So, not much of a difference. I could get a few extra bursts out, but I find it more useful for going further vertically than going further, horizontally than going further vertically. Now, another thing that could be interesting to test is to use the... First, use the Ultra Jet. See if I can get any higher with the Ultra Jet. Quite noticeable, I think. So, interestingly enough, Ultra Jet allows your jetpack to go higher because you're high. That's Fallout for you. Now let's try to use Ultra Jet twice. This is, of course, not something you want to... I mean, this is sort of... It's weird that going for the... Let's see. There are some nice effects that go together with this, or nice perks that go together with this. If you, for example, use the... let's see, where is it? Chemist. Chems last 200% longer. That would be useful. Again, doesn't make much sense, but that's Fallout for you. And let's see, there was another one that... let's see, where is it? Reduces the chance of becoming addicted. There it is, chem resistant. Reduces, you gain complete immunity to chem addiction. So that would be useful if you're going to be using a lot of chemicals to increase your ability to jump with the jetpack. So let's try the Ultra Jet. See how high we can get. Getting a lot more height now. Then I'll use an Ultra Jet. Of course, having this hotkeyed would be very useful. So, it seems like I stop here, I won't be able to get any additional height. So this would be potentially more useful if I wanted to make consecutive jumps up a building or jump further horizontally. And another way of using the jetpack, of course, is just to climb buildings. I'll just jump down here to illustrate it. So let's say I want to climb this building. There isn't an easy access point. I can use the jetpack. No! I just didn't make it. So it requires a bit of testing to see how high you can go up buildings. If there was something to stand on here, I would be able to jump up the building fairly easily. But as it stood now, I failed. So another way of using the jetpack is to just clear obstacles. And you can also use it to jump a bit more horizontally. But again, using the jetpack, it's much more useful using the jetpack to scale buildings vertically than it is to move around horizontally. Now in combat, you can of course use the jetpack in a few interesting ways. So let's say that I want to fire on someone that's really close while using a MIRV launcher. I don't know why I would want to do that, but let's just say I want to have a bit of fun. So instead of firing straight into the ground, use the jetpack. Boom! So completely safe from my own explosion there, and the jetpack enabled me to get that safety. Now, if I sprint and want to use the jetpack, I'm going to run out of action points very rapidly indeed, because the sprinting of course drains my action points. So if you want to use the jetpack, if you want to be able to fly far with the jetpack, I recommend installing a mod that removes the action point cost from jetpacks, and then you can have a lot of fun with jetpacks. I don't quite agree with the decision to make the jetpack reliant on action points. I would have liked to see it just be reliant on energy, and then you would be able to fly really far, but perhaps at a hefty energy cost. Now another thing worth noting about the jetpack is that if you're flying and you want to use VATS, I'll just let my action points refill here a bit, then I'll start flying. So I'm going to fly. You cannot use VATS, it seems, when using the jetpack. So no flying VATS headshots with the jetpack, as far as I can tell. Now I have to say, the jetpack it's a cool addition. It looks cool, but it's kind of an underwhelming. It's kind of an underwhelming accessory, and to be honest, I don't use the jetpack too much, because I just don't find it satisfying enough. The bursts are too short, you can't fly far enough with the jetpack. Sure, it's cool to scale buildings with the jetpack quickly and then just jump down, so there are a few places in the game where the jetpack can be used to good effect. But overall, unless you install a mod that makes the jetpack just reliant on energy, the jetpack really isn't that great. But anyway, that's how you get the jetpack, and that's how you get a bit more mileage out of the jetpack, by using chems. And hopefully you got a good idea of how you can use different perks to make the jetpack experience more fun. So in true Fallout form, taking drugs is a good thing. You can make yourself resistant to all addiction effects, and then you can use Jet, Ultra Jet, Nuka-Cola Quantum to give you a few additional jumps, more useful for traveling horizontally than traveling vertically, I find. And also, of course, having time slowed down while firing at enemies and flying a jetpack is just about the coolest thing you can do in Fallout 4. Strength and honor.